I'm excited because this is going to be the biggest stud hoop earrings that I've ever made. And she said that she wanted to be bigger, better, bling bling. Hello everyone, I am C from CBJU Studio Diaries. Today we're going to make the largest front-facing stud hoop earrings. It's a request from a client. I have this teardrop stud earrings that she liked, and she sent me a message. She wanted to be bigger, better, bling bling. After discussing back and forth about the style, the shape, the material, and also the price, we agreed on this. Now that we talk about pricing, maybe I can give you tips about dealing with customer who is requesting a special order. I would recommend you to really count your material and how much time you are spending in this piece, and then talk to her about the price beforehand. The reason why I talk about this is because I drank my own poison. I talk about it in the other video. I'm going to let you guess which one. But anyway, to make the long story short, this lady, she was asking me to make a different kind of style, and I was too excited about making it because normally when you have an idea from a client, I don't know about you, but me, I'm very excited about it. I love making different things and then receiving different ideas. So I didn't even talk about the price. I was like, okay, let's go. And well, I was so excited. I was so happy. I take the photos, all the whole shebang. It turned out that I didn't hear anything from her. So, woohoo. I do not want to talk bad about this person. I was just saying that maybe you can learn something from my bad experience. Alright, enough of the rambling. Let's get to work. I'm excited because this is going to be the biggest stud hoop earrings that I've ever made, and it's going to be in yellow gold filled. So without further ado, let's get to work. Grab your yellow gold filled wire, 18 gauge and 20 gauge. First, for the thicker one, the length needed is 16.5 centimeters. Since it's a pair of earrings, make it 2 pieces. Next, cut 2 of the 20 gauge wire 1 centimeter each. I'm rounding the edge of one of the side and flatten the other side. I also mark the flat side. This is the one that will be soldered to the hoops. So now you have these 4 wires ready to be made into a jewelry. Here I'm installing the bench anvil. On the square slot, I will put the bangle mandrel. It's oval and bigger. This is where I will shape my wire. For the first shaping, I just need to get a rough oval. My goal is to bring the wire ends together. I need to massage the wire by pressing against the mandrel. Very carefully. I would like to have the 2 ends meet. Not easy as I imagined. I'm going to add tension to these 2 sides by using the rocking technique, using my left hand to hold the bottom to keep the center from shifting. With the other hand, grip both ends and start rocking one side back and forth. Then alternate with the other side. It's not a full bend, just tiny movements that slowly walk the ends closer together. As you rock, tension builds naturally in the wire. This helps to align both ends symmetrically, tighten frames without over-pulling, and to get a snug fit before soldering. Once it's touching, file flat the one side of the wire so it will meet in the middle. Right now, let's quickly solder the 2 ends together. First, I'm preparing the flux using borax paste, and since it's gold filled, I want to double glaze the whole surface. Right now, grab the 1 cm wire that we had prepared before with the help of a third hand and cross-lock tweezers. Hold the wire perpendicular to the hoops. Remember, the flat side needs to be below the one that is touching the hoops. It's easy for me to find it because I've made this mark before. I put the 14 karat solder paste and fire. Remember to always point the fire not longer than 3 seconds. 3 seconds in, and then you have to point the fire away before you point it back on, and do this back and forth until the solder is melting completely. And ideally, after the soldering, for me, I wait until the metal cools off naturally before quenching it into the pickle solution. Okay, now that the earrings have been soaked in the pickle jar for a while, I'm going to do the second shaping. This can be the final one, so be careful and take time doing this. My rough idea is to shape the lower part of the drop. Since my client wants it to be very large on the bottom, I'm going to prioritize the shape first, and the rest will be decided later. And if you notice that I was using the narrow side of the mandrel to shape before I realized that it's not effective. So I'm using the wider side and get the bottom as wide as possible while maintaining the pointed top part. And now I like the shape already. I'm grabbing the parallel pliers and straighten the top half of the drop. Okay, this is very good. Now I would like to smoothen the teardrop shape by placing the hoops back to the mandrel and slide it up upside down. I hold both sides of the wire tightly against the mandrel with my hand. This keeps the hammer's vibration from bouncing through the whole wire, so only the bottom part gets shape when I hammer. This technique applies to almost every time I want to shape certain part of the hoops. I'm also alternating between the two hammers, wooden and metal. I put less pressure when I use the metal hammer, that way it will not leave any mark. And once I'm happy with the shape, I'm shaping the second one while remembering what I did on the first one. The second step is to actually hammer it flat, and this time I'm using the goldsmith hammer to give it a texture and flatten the wire. You may notice that I'm holding the wire pressing tight onto the anvil using my two fingers. It is again to avoid the blow to reverberate towards the other side of the wire because it can make the wire wonky. Regardless of my finger, the wire will be wonky anyway, but this is definitely a tip to avoid the wire to be warping out of shape. Alright, here I also make sure that while hammering, I need to hit it equally to every surface and that the wire is flattened uniformly. If you are doing it right, it will definitely curve upwards. Don't worry, let's fix it later. Here, just to show you the result of how hammering a thin wire on one side would do. Wonky, warp, you name it. Don't panic, we can fix this. back to the anvil, put the curved side against it, and this time I'm going to use the wooden mallet. I know that using the metal hammer will do the job faster, but I do not want to take the risk to ruin the texture I made earlier on the front side of the hoops. Once the hoops is flat, I am going to harden the stud by using the same technique. To know if your earrings are shaped well, laying it flat on the anvil and see if there's any wave of their laying flat. Mine is flat, so I'm going to move on to the next step. And here goes the difference between the unhammered and the hammered one. Since the wire is flattened, the shape will look larger. Perhaps it's around 2 to 3 millimeters larger. I'm done with one. I do not want to wait until I finish the whole pair, so instead I'm trying it on. Apologize for hiding my face. I have no makeup, I have no confidence. Just kidding. I just came straight from my morning workout, and since I need to finish this as soon as possible, I did not even bother washing my face. Sorry. And you may peek into my little one in the middle of doing her homework. We worked so hard that morning. Anyway, I love these hoops earrings. They're beautiful. And almost done with this, I'm going to take off some of the pointy part of the solder or wire. And I find this green polishing bit is safe for gold filled. It will definitely smoothen the rough edges. Only don't use it too much. And the last step is the polishing, my least favorite part because of the mess. But the result, to be honest with you, is so satisfying. So for this time, I do not want to skip this step. Okie dokie, let's wrap this video up. This is it, my largest teardrop stud hoops earrings ever. So beautiful. Thanks to you, Christèle. I'm adding this piece to my collection for sure. If this video sparks an idea for you, or if it makes you smile, then I'm considering myself to be successful. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Stay creative, be kind to yourself and others, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye!